Welcome back to the Screen Film Club. In today's video, we will review some of the movies and series we watched in the past month, a helpful guide of what to check out, and what you should perhaps avoid. And this video is kindly sponsored by Surfshark, but more on that midway. We start this list with a tentatively awaited Cowboy Bebop. American live-action anime adaptations have a lot going against them even before filming. Will it be a faithful adaptation? Will it be a reimagining? How are the outlandish elements going to translate on screen? Plus, we have the unfortunate history of very underwhelming adaptations. And in the end, there is no way to please every single demographic of fans. In case you're not familiar with the anime, Cowboy Bebop is the story of a group of space bounty hunters that try, and most often fail, in making money collecting bounties. Each member has a mysterious past that we get to learn a bit more about as the series progresses. First off, the show is not horrible. It's not an unwatchable mess as some hardcore anime fans might have you believe. We're far from the abomination that was Dragon Ball Evolution, or a more apt comparison would be Netflix's Death Note. The three leads do a good job with their characters. Unfortunately, when the show tries to imitate the original too much, the homages sometimes come off awkwardly as cosplay. I won't go into spoilers, but in terms of the changes to the original, there are certain character decisions that didn't really work for me, especially regarding the villain, Vicious. I didn't expect to see him in every episode, and whenever his storyline came up, it tended to make the episode drag. Overall, I found that many of the show's positives and negatives balance each other out, making it just okay. I really think you should judge this one for yourself because there is enjoyment to be had. One thing is for sure, after watching it, I really feel like watching the anime once more. A fair warning, if you don't like Wes Anderson or his movies, or his visual style or the way he tells a story, then this is definitely not the movie that will win you over. It will just further your puzzlement towards him. However, if like us, you're a fan of his, you'll enjoy his latest film. The French Dispatch is a collection of 3 stories from the fictional French Dispatch newspaper that are to be printed as the paper's final issue following the editor's death. The stories are basically unrelated shorts that feature almost every actor that has worked with Wes Anderson in the past, and as well as almost every little quirk or idiosyncrasy that he's known for. It mixes time periods, media, and is filled to the brim with details that would require a second viewing to be truly appreciated. Each self-contained tale touches upon different themes and genres while bringing lots of visual humor. I feel like Wes Anderson and his actors had a lot of fun making this film, and it shows. The French Dispatch is a funny and delightful treat, an indulgence in artifice and whimsy. 9 Days feels like it could exist in a universe adjacent to Soul. Will is well, I'm not sure if person would be the right word to describe him, or maybe a being. Anyway, he's in the process of interviewing candidates that, if chosen, would be born into the world as human beings, and eventually, Will would follow their entire lives through his CRT TVs. If rejected, they're erased and never born. As we observe Will's process, we learn more about him and his motivations in choosing the final candidate. This is the type of movie that could have easily become convoluted and extremely heady, but the high concept's execution is simplified into a very grounded and analog setting to best explain something very internal about existence. 9 Days is a good watch if you're in a reflective mood. A Sunday afternoon type of movie. A lovely rumination on the bittersweetness of living. Before we continue, like many of you, we're sometimes unable to watch certain movies because they're locked out of our area. Thankfully, the way we get around this is by using a VPN like Surfshark. Not only does it give you access to a lot of geo-locked content, but most importantly, it protects your information by encrypting all the data that you send through the internet and where you are connecting from. Rest assured, even they don't log your information. Let's be honest, there's a lot of VPNs out there, but we prefer using Surfshark because it's affordable, fast, well-reviewed, and offers a lot of features. It works across all platforms, and on top of that, you're not limited to the number of devices you can install it on. Use Surfshark Alert. That lets you know if your information appears in a leaked database, or Surfshark Search, to prevent ads or trackers from following your searches. I certainly recommend you check it out on your own by heading to surfshark.deals/screened. If you use our promo code SCREENED, you will get 84% off the regular price and 4 extra months for free. They also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you try it and you don't like it, you can simply cancel your subscription and get your money back. Now let's move on to a movie that we really liked. Spencer is a film that spans 3 days in the life of Princess Diana during Christmas. Although inspired by real-life people and real-life events, the story is fiction. But it deals with the reality of having to abide by the rules and traditions of the monarchy even behind closed doors. Kristen Stewart loses herself in the role of Diana as she attempts to hold on to a shred of normalcy and individuality while having to adhere to the role that's given to her. I like that the film is made in a way to make us feel claustrophobic. The way the movie is filmed, the close-ups, along with the music and even the costumes, they all add to the sense of Diana being in a cage that she can't escape. This film does not romanticize the royals, and even makes their refined lifestyle look bland, old, and musty. Overall, Spencer feels like an A24 slow-burn psychological thriller that's shot like a horror movie. It's a great character study that, so far, will be part of our best of the year list. Nellie is a little girl whose grandmother has just passed away. Along with her parents, Nellie travels to her grandmother's home to clean it out. One day, while playing outside, she meets a girl that's about her own age and that is very familiar. As opposed to Céline Sciamma's previous award-winning film, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, this one is much smaller in scale. It boasts a shorter runtime, no big costumes or complicated sets, just a little house and the woods, where we follow two little girls as their bond grows. A minimalistic Miyazaki-hued time travel story. It's a very charming look at childhood as well as parenthood and how the relationship between both changes as we age. Watching Petite Maman was a welcome contrast to most end-of-year movies that have a tendency to be heavy in terms of subject matter. The last entry in this month's list is Hellbound, a 6-episode South Korean series directed and co-written by the director of Train to Busan. The premise is, a supernatural being appears and prophesizes that a person will die and be bound to hell. When the time comes, 3 creatures appear, beat up and incinerate the person, fulfilling the prophecy. In the series' first half, we get to see how people react as the events become televised, and for the second half, how the world's reality has changed now that these events are commonplace. This series is not for everyone. Hellbound's bleak and depressing world reminded me of Children of Men and The Leftovers. That sense of a post-apocalyptic world where society has lost its soul but still has all the amenities. It also brought to mind the world building of Death Note, like how the world responds to the arrival of something otherworldly and then learns to live with it. This series can be very harsh at times, and its characters frustratingly cruel. The themes of life, death, purpose, faith, and fanaticism are explored within the lengthy 6-episode span, meaning to show us how humans are to be feared more than supernatural monsters. And that's the end of our list for this month. As a reminder, at the very end of the year, we will have our annual roundup of our top 10 favorite movies of 2021. So remember to look out for that and to send us your comments on what movie is your favorite of this past year. Don't forget to feed the algorithm. Until next time.